All right, let's jump right into the absolute massive technological shift we're all living through today. We're looking at some incredible insights from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. This is the guy sitting at the very center of this entire hardware and software revolution, and in this explainer, we're going to see what we can uncover about the future.
That quote right there completely frames our whole explainer today. We really need to pivot away from this paralyzing fear of artificial intelligence and start viewing it as your greatest career opportunity. Huang makes such a compelling argument that AI isn't some looming monster coming for your livelihood. It's a tool. And honestly, just like any tool in history, the folks who refuse to learn it get left behind, while those who master it totally elevate their potential.
Okay, here's our roadmap to get you that mastery. 1. The AI revolution. 2. AI's 5-layer cake. 3. Taiwan, the AI epicenter. 4. The future of work. And 5. Surviving the AI era. We're going to zoom way out to understand the global mechanics, and then zoom right back in to see exactly how this impacts you.
Section 1. The AI Revolution. Let's establish what this moment in history really means, according to NVIDIA's CEO.
When you look at the evolution of tech, it's so important to realize AI isn't just some software update, it's an entirely new physical and digital industry. Huang puts AI right on the historical timeline, basically on par with the invention of IT with IBM, the personal computer, the internet, and mobile cloud computing. But here's the major distinction. AI fundamentally changes what computers actually do. Before, we just retrieved information. Now, we're generating intelligence in real time.
And if you need proof that this is a totally new industry, just look at the money. $100 billion of venture capital was poured into AI-native companies last year alone. That's billion with a B. Huang points out this was literally the single largest year of VC investment in human history. That money isn't just disappearing into the ether, it's building a huge ecosystem of new companies, new products, and crucially, new jobs across literally every sector you can imagine.
Moving to Section 2, AI's 5-layer cake. This is where Huang breaks down this abstract, kind of mystical concept of AI into a really tangible framework.
The big takeaway here is that AI requires massive physical resources way before it becomes the apps on our phones. Think of it as a 5-layer cake. Layer 1 is energy. Generating intelligence requires electricity, just like we need calories to think. Layer 2 is chips, which is obviously NVIDIA's domain. Layer 3 is infrastructure, meaning massive data centers. Layer 4 is the models themselves, processing everything from human language to complex chemicals. And finally, Layer 5 is applications, where AI actually touches our society and daily workflows.
When we finally get up to that top application layer, we hit a massive breakthrough called agentic AI. This is not just a chatbot spitting out answers. Agentic AI has real agency. It acts like a highly autonomous digital or even physical worker. In the near future, Huang notes, these agents won't just live in your computer, they'll actually be in physical bodies, which, is exactly what a robot is.
So how does an agent actually work? Well, it runs on a pipeline. First, it understands its context and environment. Second, it forms a plan based on your prompt. Third, it uses tools. Maybe it opens a web browser or fires up a code editor. Fourth, it evaluates its own work. And fifth, it iterates over and over until the job is completely done. It operates remarkably like a human trying to solve a complex problem all by itself.
Section 3. Taiwan, the AI epicenter. Where is the physical epicenter of this massive 5-layer cake actually being built?
Well, as Huang jokingly points out, Taiwan literally has the letters A and I in it. But all jokes aside, Taiwan is quite literally the anchor of the global AI supply chain. This is built on historic, decades-long partnerships with manufacturing giants like Morris Chang's TSMC. NVIDIA relies heavily on Taiwan's insane manufacturing capabilities, pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into the region's infrastructure and talent to build the physical backbone of this whole revolution.
Taking an impartial look at the global stage, though, Huang notes the sheer scale of AI means supply chains absolutely have to diversify. He points out that nations like the US and China are fierce rivals, but they both have distinct structural advantages. China, for example, has a massive uniform market and truly incredible STEM talent. But Huang stresses a really vital point here. Because AI is a dual-use technology, meaning it has incredible potential for good, but also potential for harm, global cooperation between these competing nations is absolutely essential to make sure it advances safely.
All right, Section 4, the future of work. Let's shift away from the global supply chain and get back to your most pressing concern. What about your job?
Well, Huang completely rejects the idea that AI is just out to destroy jobs. He actually calls the immediate layoff narrative, the one often used by executives, lazy. Think about the absurdity of companies blaming layoffs on AI today when this specific tech really only became highly productive a few months ago. It's a narrative that isn't supported by historical patterns at all. It's really just designed to make people sound smart while irresponsibly terrifying the workforce.
History proves the exact opposite. Look back over the last 150 years. Despite massive, world-altering automation from steam engines to cars to the internet, global GDP and job creation have consistently grown by about 2% annually. Why is that? Because when we get new tools, we don't just kick our feet up and do nothing. Our ambition elevates. The tools let us do more and dream bigger, and we end up busier than ever, creating entirely new industries along the way.
Just look at radiology. 5, maybe 10 years ago, experts were confidently predicting AI would completely wipe out radiologists because image recognition was getting so ridiculously good. But look at what actually happened. AI didn't replace them, it just automated the mundane scanning parts of the job. Because the real purpose wasn't just to look at a scan, it was to diagnose and heal patients. By offloading routine stuff to AI, radiologists elevated their roles. They tackled harder problems, and the demand and pay for humans doing the job actually increased.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, surviving the AI era. Knowing our jobs are going to evolve, how do we prepare ourselves for a world where AI can just autonomously write code and solve complex math?
This is probably Huang's most counterintuitive insight. He believes that very soon, raw intelligence, coding ability, and basic scientific problem-solving will essentially become a commodity, just freely available through AI. And when that happens, your human ambition, your character, your deep empathy, and your generosity, those become your absolute greatest assets. Your ability to relentlessly elevate your specific craft using AI, combined with the soft skills that make people actually want to work with you, that is what will define future leaders.
Huang's personal dedication really brings this home. He literally says he hopes to die on the job. He's driven by this intense desire to support his employees and witness the future he's building. He isn't working 7 days a week just for the sake of it. He's carrying the responsibility of his whole ecosystem, completely propelled by a deeply optimistic dreamer's vision. Work, when you elevate it with real purpose, is a wonderfully human thing.
So, we're going to leave you with this final provocative thought today, echoing a question Huang poses to everyone. Are you going to hide from this technological revolution out of fear, convincing yourself it's a threat you need to avoid? Or will you engage with it, learn it better than your peers, and use it to absolutely maximize your human potential? The choice of how you navigate this AI era is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for exploring this with us.